February's in the books, and it's almost time for March Madness. Let's see what happened in real estate the month of February for 2024 at Des Moines Market Values. Hey friends, it's Les Solgrove with Simply Des Moines. This is the weekly show at DesMoinesMarketValues.com, where we talk about the real estate market in general in the Des Moines and Central Iowa real estate market. It has been an active month of February, and so let's jump right in and see kind of what happened with the real estate market in February. And then next week we'll start talking a little bit about the spring market that's on its way if it's not already here. So here we are, the second month in the books, and a couple of things that are worth noting this time is that you can see that our sales were up each month over last year. In fact, we're up 195 sales over February of 2023. Or, I'm sorry, listings over uh, at the same time a year ago at 792. That's a pretty good clip coming out of the gate there, and that's a good sign for our real estate market. So there's some little signs we're going to see here in the next couple of slides that tell us that maybe the real estate market is going to be a little bit stronger as we move into the new year. If we look at this same graphic and we apply the previous 3 years, not just looking year over year, looking the previous 3 years, this is the best start we've seen since 2021, and I would say that that bodes well for Des Moines and Central Iowa real estate market here as far as home buyers are concerned. If you look at the sale pending side, again, we're up over last month, but still behind a year ago in the pending sales. So we had 100 or 1,060 homes that went under contract the month of February versus 891. That's a nice jump, and it's a pretty typical jump when we think about the way the year kind of starts off. And I'm happy to see that we're up over February of last year as well as we move into this the third start of the third month of the first quarter here. So again, this is one of those little micro signs that says that maybe the real estate market is a little bit stronger than maybe we think or maybe we feel. I know the activity feels strong out there from what I'm hearing on the streets, but this is kind of showing that same number. So if you kind of look at those two numbers side by side, we've got these are these little positive signs we always have to watch for in the real estate market. So more pending sales each month over the listings. That's obviously if we would continue to grow the newly listed up at a faster pace, I think that's only going to increase the newly pended sales as well. So especially in the next 3 to 4 months as we move forward. As far as closed sales, we're down about 16 sales over last month. We did 598 last month in closed sales, 582 this month. However, just because of the fact that we were up in January in our closed sales, a pretty good clip that basically we're almost even, just only 2 sales behind this same period of time last year. And if you follow me at all, you know that I'm kind of predicting that we're going to be seeing more sales this year than we saw last year at the end of the year, but maybe not as many as 2022. So I think we'll beat 2023 sales, but maybe not beat that 2022. It would be great if we did, but I think that's just kind of the way our market's going to be going here. So, and you can kind of see this little click right here showing you last year. The closed sales in March, were around 1,000, which is, it's almost double. I think that, we're going to see quite a pace pickup here as we move into the spring months. The most amazing part here is that sale prices are still up. Over $1,850 is the price increase or the appreciation, not appreciation, but the sale price, median sale price over January. But boy, look at that year over year. We're almost just over $23,000 higher in sale price from February a year ago. And a little telltale sign that says the market's changing just a little bit here. Our days on market for the month of February were a little bit longer of these closed sales. Now, remember, these closed sales are sales that occurred from prior to January of just last year. This isn't just looking at of last month. It doesn't mean we're just looking at month over month increases there of days on market. These are homes that maybe went under contract in October, November, and December as well. And that pace of sales of those closed sales is up at the 44 days. So maybe it's going to take a little longer as we move forward this year to get homes under contract, but that's also probably not a bad thing if you're a home buyer out there trying to keep track of the marketplace. So As far as looking at price increases and price reductions, you know, it's about 7-to-1 ratio right now. For every price increase, there were about 7 price reductions in our marketplace in February, and that's a pretty good clip there. It wasn't that long ago this was flip-flopped where we weren't seeing price reductions and we were seeing price increases as we move through the year. So that's another good sign there. Homes back on the market this month, February. 1 in 5 home sales that were pending came back on the market during the month. And if you remember, our year average last year was about 24%. So we're behind, which is good. There's fewer homes falling apart, sales falling apart as we move into February. And I think that, as you can see here, this is probably the most stable month. I know last year, 204 homes were under contract that fell apart. You can see a year ago, March coming up here, over 250. So we'll see if that same trend continues. My hope and my thought is that we're going to see fewer homes come back on the market, and maybe we will underperform in this particular graphic, which would be a good one to underperform in here. So the looking at some of this data when we look at it in the different price points, this is months of inventory. So again, months of inventory is the amount of time that it takes for a particular in this particular case, a price point to sell out of inventory if no new homes come on the market. And down here at the far left-hand side here, this is your under $100,000 price point, and the 100 to $200,000 price point. That tells you that, really about 1 month's inventory is all we have in those categories. And the yellow refers to a seller's market, which is all indicated here in yellow. And you can see that the majority of our price points in February were in a seller's market, which is pretty strong for this time of year. Typically, we just see the lower end, but we're starting to see some of that $600,000 to $700,000 price points jump into that seller's market early. And honestly, the 500 to 600 and 7 to $800,000 price points at 4.4 and 4.6 months of inventory isn't that far out of a seller's market either. And at the far end of the scale here, which is pretty typical, but just because of the price points, even that is, just outside of the balanced market for this $800,000 to $900,000 price point, not too far out of the way above 1 million. The one area that tends to always seem to be lagging behind is that $900,000 to $1 million price point. I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but it seems to always have a little bit slower pace there. But so hopefully by next month we'll look at this and we'll see everything kind of in yellow and maybe or more blue anyway. The blue is a balanced market, which is kind of even for all buyers and sellers in the marketplace. Last graphic on this set here, this is February, all homes for sale and sale pending by price point. And the one thing you want to notice here is that every single price point has outpaced the homes for sale for the month of February. In other words, more homes went under contract in every single price point than we had coming on the market there. And so you know what? I'm looking at that graphic now, and that might be a typo. It looks like I might have those backwards. So anyway, we'll revisit that here. It looks like those should be the opposite there. So maybe not. Anyway, sorry, I'm catching myself in the middle of the show here looking at graphics. So we'll come back and revisit that next month if that was a mistake. The last two slides here are the metro inventory by price points. This is a throwback to last year's slide, and I'm bringing it back. I'll probably be revamping the formatting of it a little bit, but I didn't have time this week. This is just showing you in the metro area, on the left-hand side, all of the communities in the metro and where their inventory is basically sitting. And you can see Ankeny is currently the number one part of the metro that has the most inventory for available homes to buy and sell. And then this shows you kind of along this horizontal line what price points those homes are for sale in. Waukee and Urbandale come in second and third with a total of 1,986 homes for sale in the actual metro. That's Des Moines and the contiguous counties around the city. Last slide this week, this is the same view looking at just the number of homes that are in sale under contract. And again, this kind of gives you an idea of where people are actually buying homes, whether they have homes for sale, but they're also buying homes. And again, Ankeny and Waukee came in number one and number two. And then Urbandale and West Des Moines down here, they came in at a close second. They were tied for third at 137 homes that are under contract in the respective price points there, so or categories there. So all of these graphics, I put this out for not just all homes, but I also break this down by new construction, condo, townhome, single family. Those graphics will all be in the show graphics for this week as well when I upload those this week. And just a reminder, I will go back and look at that one graphic I was questioning myself on here. So anyway, that's kind of the show for this week. It is the first week of March is coming into play. We'll look at closed sales next week a little bit closer because we'll see all those homes that were closed at the end of March and kind of see what direction we're heading here as we move into the spring market. So with that, be sure and go to DesMoinesMarketValues.com. That's where all of the graphics remain. You can go back and see the previous YouTube shows. If you want to go back and review those, you can see those as well by going to DesMoinesMarketValues.com. And then, of course, the year-end report is out there as well as any special shows. I just spoke to the YPN group for Des Moines Area Association of Realtors this past week, and all their slides are there as well, which is kind of a mini recap of the year-end. So anyway, thanks again for joining me every week. This is Les Solgrove with Simply Des Moines, and I appreciate your support. We'll talk to you all again next weekend. Have a great week.